This is the users page. On this page, an advisor can add and manage additional users and also track user activity. Okay, you can see I've got a few users in the software already, and you can see they've got different roles. When I add a user, I give them a role, and the role determines how much access they have to the software, as well as how much access they have to the book. To add a new user, we'll click the Add User up here at the top right, and then you'll first give the user a login ID. You do not have to use an email address for the login, okay? If you're a teacher and you use an email address, you can also set it up so that you receive various emails from the software when people check in sections and things like that. Then I'll put in first name, last name, confirm the password, and then we will add a user role, okay? The roles are defined right here. There are 5 different roles, and we'll walk through each one of them one at a time. If I take Nick here and I make him a viewer, okay? All that Nick will be able to do with his login to the software is view the preview on the activity page, okay? Nick can't check out any sections, he can't upload photos, pretty much anything else. And so the viewer is the lowest level of permissions. I usually call that the principal role. Somebody that has a vested interest in this book getting done. They want to pop in and take a peek every once in a while, but they're not really participating, okay? So that's the viewer role. Next role up is a photographer role. If I make Nick a photographer, then he can log in and he has access to the photos page where he can upload and organize photos. He can't edit any sections of the book. He's basically just dealing with the photos. So this is a great role for a photographer, whether it's a parent, whether it's a photography class student. You can make them a photographer and allow them to feed the site with photos without participant on the editing part. Okay, next is staff. This is probably the most common role for a student. When you assign someone as a staff member, you can also assign specific sections on the yearbook ladder for them to work on. Okay, so if I make Nick here a staff member, and I assign him to academics and field trips, when he goes to the yearbook ladder, he'll see the editing icon to check out and work on those 2 sections only. He won't be able to work on anything else. And so the staff role really is kind of the typical student role in a yearbook class. Next up, we have an editor. If I make Nick here an editor, Nick can now edit all of the sections and manage the book. So he's got full ladder functionality as well as the ability to open and work on any section in the book. He's got all the other above functionality too, uploading, organizing photos, and so forth. And then the highest level role is the advisor. The advisor is reserved for only the teacher, the main admin, whoever is responsible for ultimately approving and submitting that final book. The advisor has full access to everything in the software. The advisor is the only one that can approve and reject sections. They're actually the only ones that can even see those buttons on the ladder. The advisor is also the only one that can follow the submission process and submit the final book. Okay, so those are the 2 key differentiations with that advisor role. Okay, so if I make Nick an advisor, he has full access to the software here. So that is add users. We'll go ahead and click out of here. Let's look at another more active user here, and I'll show you what user settings look like. So we'll come in, look at user settings, and you can see this is actually me, and you can see my last login, the number of times I've logged in, and then you can also see I've got a complete activity log, and so everything I've ever done in this software is available right here as well. So that's the user settings and user info. And if you click on that for any user, you can also come in here and change their roles at any time. This is where you'll change their password. You can change their roles here. If you want to delete a user, you would also come in here and just click none for the roles and click OK. That user gets deleted. They can no longer log in again. All of the other work that they've done and so forth up to that point is still available. And that covers the Manage Users page. Take a look at the user guide for additional information.